delegates to take chair on dais. So I request our chief guest, sir, Professor L.M. Patnaik, sir, former professor of ISI Bangalore, to please join us on dais. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, please take your seat on dais. And other dignitaries, Professor Srinivas Sethi, sir, program chair of this conference, please join us stage. Professor Vibhudatta Sahu, sir, professor and head, Department of Computer Science, please join as a general chair, please join us on dais. And also, I request our registrar, Madam Srimati Nishipurna Mills, to join us on stage. So please take your seat, sir. I request to our student coordinators to kindly present the flower tree pots to our honorable dignitaries. I request to student volunteers to please present the tree pots to our chief guest, Professor L.M. Patnaik, sir, to offer the flower bouquet to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, then other program chair, Professor Srinivas Sethi, and session chair, Professor Vibhudatta Sahu, sir, and registrar, ma'am. Okay. So, on behalf of Biju Patnaik University of Technology, Odisha, I extend a warm and respectful welcome to our honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, faculty members, researchers, delegates, and students to the inaugural session of the BPUT Multi-International Conference on Emerging Trends in Evolving Technology, in short, BMIC-ETET 2025. So this BMIC-ETET 2025 focuses on areas including intelligent computing and information systems, smart materials and structures, technology for society and sustainability, and physical, environmental, and computational sciences. These teams bring together different research areas and provide a strong base for learning collaboration during the conference. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to everyone to present, and thank you for being a part of this BMIC-ETET 2025. Now I request our dignitaries to please lighting of lamp in the inaugural session of this international conference. Student volunteers, please coordinate accordingly.
Karoti kalyanam आरोग्यं धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय ज्ञानदीपं नमोस्तुते। दीपं ज्योति परं ब्रह्म दीपं ज्योति जनार्दन दीपं ज्योति हरि पापं ज्ञानदीपं नमोस्तुते। सरस्वती महाभद्रा महामाया वरप्रदा श्रीपदा पद्मनिलया पद्मश्री पद्मवक्रता शिवार्जा पुस्तकमित् ध्यानमुद्रा रमापरा कामरूपा महाविद्या महापातकनाशिनी महाशयानहरिश्च महाधारा महाभुजा महाधागा महोत्साहा दिव्यांगासुरवन्दिता। पूर्णमादः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Please take your seat. So now I would like to request to all present over here, please rise for the deputy anthem. Thank you. Please take your seat. So, to start with this inaugural session, now the next part is the presentation of conference report by our program chair, Professor Srinivas. So, who is a distinguished professor and the head computer science department of IGIT Saran. Dr. Srinivas is a highly respected academic leader and professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and Application of IGIT Saran, one of India's premier autonomous engineering institutions affiliated to BMIC Patna University of Technology. With a robust foundation in computer science and engineering, Dr. Sethi has dedicated his career to advancing both education and research in cutting-edge areas of computing. He serves as head of the department, where he is instrumental in shaping the department's academic vision, fostering innovation and mentoring the next generation of engineers. So he has extended full support for this international conference, and being its honor, he has chaired as program chair of this international conference. Now I request Professor Sethi to present the conference report to this August gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you. This is my opportunity to have a discussion on these programs. So this morning, once again, I welcome to you in this event. As a program chair and group of the program committee, I welcome you. Good morning to all. Respected Professor Marat, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Deputy Odisha Raulku, Chief Patron of the event, respected Professor Ellen Patnaik, Adjunct Professor and NACI Senior Scientist, National Institute of Advanced Studies, IIT Campus, Chief Guest of the event. Professor Director Sahu, General Chair and Professor and Head of the Department, CSE, NIT Raulkala. Respected Srimati Nisi Puna Means, Registrar of the Institute. My co-program chair, Professor Mufti Muhammad from Saudi Arabia, respected keynote speaker, faculty members, staff member of the BPT Raulkala, monitor of this event, print and digital media. I, on behalf of the committee, I discussed some brief idea about the programs which will be carried out in these 3 days. The BPT Multi-International Conference on the Emerging Trend and Evaluations, Evaluation Technology 2025, BMIC, shortly you can say that BMIC 2025, organized by BPT Inaugural Odisha, found a significant and academic research milestones. Reinforcement the university commitment to global knowledge exchange and interdisciplinary collaborations. The technology and advancement. The international conference successfully brought together researchers, academicians, scientists, industry professionals from the diverse national and international backgrounds. The international conference provides intelligence, information and computing systems, smart materials, composite and structures, society, information and sustainability, physical environment and computational science. These are the 4 different tracks we have. And under this track, we are having the different papers, good number of the papers. These thematic tracks facilitate in-depth discussion on the emerging technology, innovation, research and methodology, sustainable delivery solutions, and their transformative impact on the society industries. The overall response to international conference was reflected in the receipt of 398, though it is the first international conference. It is strange that we received 398 research paper submissions. Understanding the academic relevance and global research. Following a rigorous double-blinding review process has been made by our committee, consisting of these different different research personalities from the NIT, IITs, and out of the world also, they are involved to review process. Out of 398, it is very difficult to select only 77 papers out of 398, only 77 papers will be going to present these 3 days. Okay. So that is, in our calculation, that is your 19.35% of the total paper receipt. Thereby ensuring high scholar standard, originalities, and technical excellence. For the conference, 55 papers received from the foreign authors. That is another point that 55 numbers, particularly in the different conference, it is very difficult to receive the papers from this outside the India. Now we are receiving 55 numbers of the papers from outside India. And out of 55 numbers, 70 papers, research papers, have been selected after the reviewing process for the presenting, and they have registered, and after finishing this job, we will going to publish. All the registered and presented paper will be published in the conference proceeding by CRC Press in the Scopus Index, ensuring we are submitting after conference over, we are submitting uh, uh, Scopus for the Scopus Index. Okay, after finalized by the CRC Press Publication House. Additionally, the abstract of the abstract and registered oral presentations are published in the official abstract volumes titled as BPT Multi-International Conference Abstract bearing the ISBN numbers, that is the highly required nowadays. It is important to show your credential through the ISBN or ISSN numbers. But we are receiving that ISBN number 97881, such four numbers, one number is receiving, and in this point I can say that this is my privilege to thank Professor Vikram Vipro to, after studying a month, he received this number, which is going to present the different abstract in this webinars. The main attraction of the conference is keynote speaker from the different corner of the globes. Professor Ellen Pernay is not describe what his personality, his research activity. So you can see the age is not matter after listen the voice from Professor Ellen Pernay. Age is not bar for any kind of the activities, particularly in the research activities. So thank you, sir, for your kind concern about this topic. Another personality, that is Professor Sivakumar Udgata, head of the department, Computer and Information Science, Director of Simulation and Modeling Labs, University of Hyderabad. Professor KFU MF, Saudi Arabia, Dr. Amit Kumar Mishra, Technology and Innovation Managers. He is the Director of RF Forest, and Professor Saraj Mehra already says an award. So you can enjoy this and these personalities talk in this event. Okay. Now it is time to and thanks to Professors, systems, and the head of this, the chief scientist of the Japan Meteorological Science, Professor Dr. Siddhar Naik. Japan, and Dr. Deepak Ghosh, senior IEEE members, Computer Science and University of Texas at El Paso, and Dr. Golkota Ajani Ravi Kiran, Assistant Professor, National University of Science and Technology, Dr. Agus Samito, Associate Professor, Mining and Mineral Engineering Department. I am grateful to all keynote speakers of the conference for their ongoing talks in these 3 days. We are grateful to our reviewers. Those are give effort, maximum effort to review the process and give that information to us, feedback to us, to selecting these papers. Their unconditional help are with us to review process. For this, it is my privilege to thank them. We cannot forget those who are the main stakeholder of the event, that Professor Ellen Purnay already invite these two randomly authors, delegates come over here and delighted the lamps. So it is my privilege to thank the authors present over here and not present over also some of them due to be some emergency, medical emergency, having some other emergency also. They are asking for the online presentation. Few of them outside these members, and in the outside India also they are requesting to have a online presentation. We are allowed them. Thanks to them also as a author of this event. They are the main stakeholder of this event. And we would acknowledge the CMT Microsoft portal, which is used by our committee for selection registration till the selecting process of these papers. It is my privilege to share the information. The main playback personalities. I can start with the Professor Ameya Kumar Rath, Honorable Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir, for giving opportunity to have a conference over here. And 2 years back, we started this concept, and now it is materialized today. Thanks for your initiative idea and innovative applications. Without supports, it is not possible to carry out these work. Professor Shivakumar Mishra, Director CUPGS PPOT, Raukala, and Professor Manas Ranjan Kawat, Principal, IMIT Cuttack, play a main role in this event as a partner of these programs. Professor Manas Ranjan Naik, Professor CUPGS, BPOT Odisha, also supported as a co-partner in this event. Because of them only, we are here to conduct this event. And finally, we cannot ignore the main part of the systems, that is your Srimati Nisi Punam means register, provide us the administration support. Thank you, ma'am. And then Savita Dansana, the finance officer, the financial sides. So for this playback personalities, we must thankful them. And we cannot forget the main person of this conference, Dr. Vivek Sahu. Thanks for your giving a consent to be a general chair of this event. And continuously he guides us how to perform these different activities in this event and in a different manners. Every project he has given, he has prepared, and accordingly we are proceed. In the review and setting, my co-program chair, Professor Mohammed Mufid, helping a lot in this event. And his unconditional love with me, I cannot forget him to share some information. But it is not time to discuss in the his time is there to discuss in details. Of course, I cannot forget the other personality like Professor Vikramaditya Das and Professor D.C. Rao, convener of this event. They are helping a lot during the process to complete every event. Thank Professor the Ramesh Kumar Sahu and Assistant Professor Birla Global University, Bhubaneswar, Professor Rajendra Kumar Naik, Assistant Professor, Government Engineering College, Kalahandi, Banpanna, for their unconditional help during the different activity for this reviewing and selecting process. And Professor Arun Kumar, NIT Raulkala, he is also helping a lot for this kind of this activity. Special thank you. Now, during these 3 days, I hope you will enjoy a lot. Session sir will take care of your different activity in this event. They will also conduct the different session and select the best paper award to them. We cannot ignore their activity because they are the main role in these 3 days. They are taking care of all the different activity and selecting the best paper award will be. I hope all the authors, listeners will enjoy the event, and event can help you for your research activity. Thanks all. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the conference overview with us. Next to introduce Professor Vibhu Datta Sahu, sir. He is a distinguished academician and researcher, currently serving as professor and head of the Department Computer Science and Engineering of NIT Raurkela. He is widely recognized for his expertise in algorithm engineering, distributed systems, cloud computing, fog and edge computing, Internet of Things, and software-defined networking with network function virtualization. With a strong foundation in both theoretical and applied computer science, Dr. Sahu leads advanced research in communication and computing research group. His scholarly work focuses on the design of efficient algorithms and the development of scalable and resilient distributed systems that address the complex demands of modern computing paradigm, including cloud and edge environments and IoT ecosystem. Dr. Sahu has made significant contributions to the evolution of software-defined networks, virtualized security, and network functions virtualization, enabling for flexible, programmable, and secure network architectures. His research interests also span data structure, theoretical computer science, computer architecture, parallel and distributed systems, and web engineering, reflecting a broad and impactful academic vision. Beyond his research contributions, Dr. Sahu is deeply committed to academic leadership, teaching excellence, and student mentorship. Through his guidance, research publication, and curriculum innovation, he has inspired and empowered countless students and researchers, preparing them to address real-world challenges and contribute meaningfully to the rapidly evolving technology landscape. So I now request our General Chair, Professor Vibhu Datta Sahu, sir, Professor and Head, to address this gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. for the kind introduction. So good morning to all the distinguished personality and the researchers, students gathering here. So respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Amya Kumar Ratha, Deputy Raurkela, respected Registrar, Madam Minj, our esteemed Chief Guest of this function, Professor L.M. Patnaik. He has been introduced by my program chair, Professor Sethi, about his achievements and where he stands and where the computer science in India stands with him. And honorable members of the organizing committee, co-patrons, advisory and organizing committee members, eminent speakers, researchers, the administration and the team behind the BPUT who are contributed a lot to this conference, and delegates, student volunteers, and the young researchers. Once again, I wish you very good morning and a warm welcome to this conference. As Professor Srinivas also said, this is the idea comes from our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rath. And he says how to start a multi-function, multiple track, doing the justice to the different branches or different specialization or the programs offered by the BPUT Rourkela. So with this, we start initiation. Can we have such type of international conference? We start with really looking for the very big things. I don't know, I mean, after the end of this conference, we'll evaluate ourselves how successful we are. But please believe me, we plan it a very big way. There are different challenges, getting the personalities, getting the research papers, being a first conference, motivating others to look at that we are conducting a conference at Rourkela. So these are the, typical some challenges. Being a first one, attracting the authors is really a big problem. We try to reach out the people through our link. We convince them, yes, we are going to set a standard. So please come with us and we are going to have a conference. And different researchers of different tracks will come together. We will be finding it is par with the other conference that is going on in the country. And we are truly privileged with us to have the BPUT Vice Chancellor, who is the man behind this idea. So his presence with us reflects the university's strong belief in the research innovation and interdisciplinary collaboration are the foundation of the progressive nation, and the conference is mostly working towards this idea. I am especially honored to welcome our chief guest, Professor L.M. Patnaik, a distinguished academician and inspiring thought leaders. His scholarly contribution and the leadership of the consistently demonstrates how knowledge, when guided by the purpose, can influence the generation. We are confident that his insights will motivate us and our researchers, and we will be able to achieve the success in this conference. So I also acknowledge the team led by Professor Srinivas Sethi, Professor Vikramaditya, and Professor D.C. Rao, who tried to set the day-to-day activity of this conference. One of the things which I want to highlight, these people try to touch many of the authors in person, time to time interact, to shift the articles what they are writing. Sometimes it's a multiple communication between the authors and the coordinator and the program chair, and not only they guided, they are able to shift their things to bring into a standard, which is a very rare that you will be getting a interaction with the program chair and his team with the authors. I hope the authors who are present, the authors whose articles are selected, must appreciate this gesture for this conference. So friends, we live in the time of the complex global challenges. Unless and until the multidisciplinary activities are come together, we are not going to find neither the problem nor we build up a solution. So when you try to do the innovation, the problems are coming from the real world, and when we go for a multidisciplinary approach, maybe the problem is a social science problem, maybe the problem is a engineering science problem. And when all people will sit together, definitely will work towards a solution. And that is the idea of this multi-track conference of bringing the various researchers who are expertise in their domain and sit together to have an interdisciplinary collaboration. I express my sincere appreciation to all the authors, reviewers, speakers, committee members, volunteers who have contributed selflessly to make this conference possible. I say our success will be measured after this conference, and definitely we are open to the suggestion and the criticism from all the stakeholders and all the authors and the researchers who are participating. So, as we inaugurate this conference, let us collectively reaffirm our commitment to the academic integrity and innovation-driven research, knowledge for the societal good. May the discussion over among the sessions ignite your new idea, inspire the transformative research, and lead to the enduring collaboration between the various stakeholders and the researchers participating. With these words, I extend my best wishes for the grand success of the conference, And I welcome you again to the conference with the hope that you will contribute to the success of the conference and you give your suggestions and the feedback so that we will improve in coming years and able to present another conference in coming year with a greater dimension. Thank you all for your kind presence.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable address and contribution to this BMIC 2025. Now, I would like to request our information officer to go for the screening of short videos of BMIC 2025. Please play.
Global Intelligence Meets Emerging Technology, BMIC-ETET 2025 at BMIC University of Technology, Rourkela.
Namaskar to all. I am Dr. Madhusudha Das.
Good morning. My name is Atul Jana. This is Suryapan Kumar Bugla. I am Manas Swami. I am Asupar Raigrai.
I am Rosemary Anjum.
I myself Amit Jana. Hello everyone. My name is Asif Kumar and I am the electrical engineering student of BMIC Rourkela and I am the corresponding author of this paper. Kumar sir, Dhawan Bera and Pavan Kumar Danigula sir are my co-authors. Myself Vijay Kumar. My name is Vijay. I am Dr. Sandeep Patne.
My name is Ibrahim and I am third year computer science student.
My name is Dr. Prasad.
I am Professor Nambata Mishra. My name is Dr. Sadanjali Nayak. I am Prabhati Kumari Behera.
Dr. Samantra. I am Dr. Chandramani. I am Dr. Jitendra Kumar Sao.
I am Signa Rai, research scholar with the guidance of Dr. Kumari Kasturi. My name is Nandaka Virasi Sahu.
Myself Vidyadhar Vishwa. My name is Prashant Kumar Sao. My name is Vishwet Padi. My name is Akshay Kumar Behera. I am Vishwanath Pradhan, a research scholar at BMIC University of Technology, Bangalore, Odisha, working under the guidance of Dr. Sujit Kumar Pradhan. I am Lohitas Rao, currently research scholar under BPUT Specialty in Power System.
Hello everyone, my name is Preeti Mania. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Engineering Technology at System University.
I am Raj Suhan, research scholar, BMIC Bangalore, and autonomous college. My name is I am a scholar of Faculty of Technology.
I am Nima Devi, scholar of
My name is Sunil Ghosh, research scholar from Jadis University.
This is Dr. Deepak Kumar Gali from K University, Vijayawada.
Hello everyone, I am Gurtirani Kamsali.
Jai Jagannath, I am Swarnabh Singh from Electrical Engineering Department, BMIC University of Technology, Rourkela, Odisha.
Global Intelligence Meets Emerging Technology, BMIC-ETET 2025 at BMIC University of Technology, Rourkela. Warm greetings from our Vice Chancellor, sir.
Greetings to all. It's a matter of great pride for me to welcome you on behalf of BMIC-ETET University of Technology, Odisha, Rourkela. We are pleased to announce the BPUT Multi-International Conference on Emerging Trends in Evolving Technology, BMIC-ETET 2025. The conference will be held from 19th to 21st December 2025 at our university's campus at Rourkela. BMIC-ETET 2025 is a global platform. A platform for ideas, for innovation, and for collaboration. It brings together researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and young scholars from across the world. The conference focuses on interdisciplinary research across key domains: intelligent computing, smart materials, sustainability, and physical and computational sciences. We are honored to host eminent international experts through keynote lectures, technical sessions, and scholarly discussions. All accepted and presented papers will be published by CRC Press, Taylor & Francis, and submitted for corpus indexing. I invite you to participate actively, share your research, engage in dialogue, and contribute to shaping the future of technology. Together, let us advance knowledge, inspire innovation, and work towards a sustainable and inclusive future. I look forward to welcoming you to BPUT Rourkela. Thank you.
Namaskar and a warm welcome to everyone. As the Vice Chancellor of BMIC-ETET University of Technology, Odisha, I am honored that BPUT Odisha is hosting its first multi-international conference on emerging trends in evolving technology. This conference brings together global scholars, industry experts, innovators, and young researchers. Together, we explore ideas that shape the future of science, technology, engineering, and management. We live in an era of rapid technological transformation. This conference focuses on key emerging areas such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, and cyber security. We also highlight smart materials, nanotechnology, and sustainable infrastructure. These technologies are redefining industries, they are transforming society, they are influencing everyday life. The conference is clear and meaningful to generate new ideas, to encourage collaboration, and to create real impact. It provides a platform to share research, exchange perspectives, and build interdisciplinary connections. We expect this conference to lead a strong partnership and practical research outcomes. Participants will gain fresh insight, new professional networks, and renewed motivation. Outstanding contributions will be recognized through keynote lecture and best paper award. Through academic excellence and technological innovation, we move towards a larger vision. Together, we march towards BMIC-ETET Odisha 2036. I encourage you to participate actively, share your ideas, engage with purpose, collaborate for impact. Together, let us shape a smarter, sustainable, and self-reliant future. Thank you, and I wish the conference great success.
Thank you, media team. Now, the on-screen person who has welcomed all of you to this international conference, let me introduce Professor Ramya Kumar Ratha sir, the chief patron of this international conference, assumed the esteemed position of Vice Chancellor at the BMIC-ETET University of Technology in April 2023. With an impressive career spanning several prestigious roles, he brings a wealth of experience and expertise to his current leadership role. Professor Rath has made remarkable contributions as an acclaimed educationist, researcher, author, mentor, and a versatile multilingual individual prior to his appointment as Vice Chancellor. Okay, please sir.
So good morning to all of you. Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik, former Professor, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, adjunct professors, NASI, Senior Scientist, Bangalore. I used to tell that he is a eminent scientist. I used to tell in another forum also, the Bhisma Pitamaha and Dronacharya of technical educations, not only in the state, in the country, and as well as abroad. The person who is the chief guest, I'll tell you very clearly, none other than anybody else other than Professor L.M. Patnaik, who can be a chief guest of such a prestigious programs, not here, anywhere in the country. He is the fittest person to become a chief guest of international conference. Professor Bibhudatta Sahu, Professor of NIT Rourkela, is a general chair of this conference, first BPUT Multi-International Conference 2025. When we conceived this idea, as he rightly mentioned, that we want to accommodate all branches of engineering, science, architectures, managements, then we try to conceive the idea that let us have a conference at such time, because as I was telling Professor Patnaik, the challenges in affiliated university is little different than a unitary university. Then Professor Srinivas Sethi, all conferences you will find Professor Sethi will be there always, because he is contributing significantly to the research community, not only in the state, outside, and he has a lot of associations with foreign universities also, bringing people and trying to increase the knowledge fraternity in the state of Odisha. And our own registrar, Mrs. Nisi Punam Minch, who is a great supporter and great contributing a lot to the universities for the growth. Whatever you see today, the growth of the universities in these 2.5 years, she is the main persons like who is contributing significantly, and seeing that always positive minded and always trying to do something different. And the conference coordinators, Professor Vikramaditya Das and Professor D.C. Rao, both of them significantly contributed for the success of this program. Of course, the program chair is Professor Srinivas Sethi, Professor of IJIT Sarang. Our Deputy Registrar, other faculty members present here, the finance officers, Director Curriculum Development, Director P&IT, Director CUPGS, and other guests, other researchers who has come from outside. Always I remember, like when I was there at MAC, I used to invite Professor L.M. Patnaik. We used to interact, like meeting a person, interact with him. Always he blessed me that whenever I used to tell him, sir, I have an interview, I should go to Bhubaneswar. He always, oh, Professor Rath, you will get it. He's always, he is such a positive mentor. I always, yesterday I told him that your blessings, with your blessings that I came here and joined as a Vice Chancellor of B.J. Patnaik University of Technology. Your blessing is itself is a blessing of God. Sir, when we came here, as I was telling you yesterday, when I came here, as I told you that challenges of affiliating university is little different. We have 145 colleges with 1.5 lakh students. The most important is we need to take students, faculty members, principals, and the research scholars. For the students, we developed a program called BPUT Tech Carnival. You can see those posters. This is the posters of 2023. You can see, if it's clearly visible, technical quiz, business quiz, and drone technology, robotics, entrepreneurship, and a lot many. You can see 20, which we had different competitions among the students throughout the state. Of course, this year we have 24 such technical competitions among the students. Then we have cultural competitions among the students. Then we have sports events, sports competitions among the students. I believe in holistic development of students. What do you mean by holistic development? Holistic development is intellectual development of students, spiritual development of students, social development of students, emotional development of students, physical development of students. This I mean as holistic development. In the holistic development, I understand that only attending classes, writing examinations will not help. What will help is the overall personality has to be developed. So we have done this for the students. For the faculty members, we have conducted different faculty development programs. Faculty development programs on teaching pedagogy, faculty development programs on different technology so that they can teach better in the class. Then we have, for the principals, we have programs, and for the research scholars, we used to conduct research conclave. We used to conduct research conclave for the research scholars. This year also we have conducted research conclave. We have done hackathon, November 1st and 2nd. We had BPUT hackathon. The idea of hackathon was at least the students, let them be motivated. In the future they can go for a startup. It was a grand success. There are 6 different companies. They provided 10 different problem statements. Those 10 different problem statements has to be evaluated by the company, not by any of the faculties. Of course, 1 or 2 faculty members were involved. Then we have organized Smart India Hackathon out of 60 different centers throughout India. BPUT Rourkela was one of the centers. We organized last week, possibly last week we organized this. There are 3 different problem statements from Ministry of Education and 2 different problem statements from Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Next month we are trying to organize boot camp. The boot camp was, of course, boot camp also from Ministry of Education. Formally it has not been announced, but let me tell you that Ministry of Education also requested us, you hold the boot camp. Boot camp is the school principals and senior teachers. They will come here and a resource person will come from Ministry of Education and they will train in the boot camp. And we do it like project exhibitions for the students. And this is first multi-international conference. We try to accommodate the research scholars, the faculty members, that the output of research should be a paper. It's not that we go for PhDs, just publish 2 papers in conferences, 2 papers in journals, get a degree. It's not the research. The meaning of research is we need to contribute something, add values to the existing knowledge whichever is available. In many foreign countries, in other places, the PhD output, like you will find shortly in state universities also, you should have a patent or you should have a product. Then only the PhD will be given to the faculty members or to the research scholars. That has already come because we are very good in consultancies. India is very good in IT consulting, but we need to develop products. That's very important. That's why Government of India, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, they started with hackathon 9 years back. And of course, there are outcome of that is there are 125 unicorns are there in the country. The data is up to January 2025. 125 unicorn is $1 billion. Turnover is $1 billion, which is more than 100 crores. And there are more than 190 startups. And the registered startups are almost 6,10,000 registered startups in the country. We need to go for more startups because you can see this geopolitical situation is not very, very good. We need to develop our own products. We need to import less, export more. That should be the objectives. See, whenever you go for research, you might have seen Arjun, okay? Arjun in Mahabharata, Dronacharya कहते अर्जुन को समस्त कहते पांडव मान कहते गोटे स्वर लगेगा गोटे समस्ते बोधे बुझुंट ओडिया मुझे कौच टे हाँ से कहते आम गोटे स्वर लगेगा कहते द्रोणाचार्य को समस्त परीक्षा नौ पांडव मैंने अच्छा कौरव मैंने भी अच्छा से समस्त पचारे से कौन देखुचे गोटे पक्षी थिला सेठे समस्ते कहते किए कहते मुझे गोटे गछ देखुची गछरे गोटे पक्षी अच्छी पक्षी बस पक्षीटा फल लगी किंतु अर्जुन कौन कहले अर्जुन कहले जे मु गोटे पक्षीर गोटे आखि देखुची कहीं ऑब्जेक्टिव कौन थिला ऑब्जेक्टिव थिला पक्षीर आखिटा को शूट करने गोटे ऑब्जेक्टिव थिला किंतु द्रोणाचार्य देखिले अर्जुन ही कहते मत केवल गोटे आखि देखा जाउछि तेणु आम जो रिसर्च करुचे व्हेन वी आर परस्यूइंग रिसर्च ओके फोकस्ड इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट आपण मानक फोकस करने को पड़ो ओके सीटा हूँ बहुत इंपोर्टेंट आ गोटे थिला आपण मानकर महाभारत रे गोटे दक्ष थिला दक्ष ना कौन टांग ना रक्ष ना दक्ष दक्ष थिला दक्ष कौन करते जिते पानी पीवा को जाते पांडव माने जिते एक्साइल थे वनवास करते से पानी पीवाई जाते दक्ष कहले मोर गोटे क्वेश्चन आंसर दब आंसर देले ही पानी पी पार से कौन कहले समस्ते गले समस्ते कहले जे आम कौन कहार परमिशन नहीं कि पानी पी समस्ते पानी पीले आ मूर्छा हो गले मरीगले बुझीपारे तापर दुर्योधन आसिले दुर्योधन कौन कहले दुर्योधन तांकर सबु प्रश्नर उत्तर देले सॉरी युधिष्ठिर आसिले युधिष्ठिर सबु प्रश्न मु आपण माने अटेंटिव अच्छे देखा चाहूली आपण मैंने अटेंटिव अच्छा कि ना मु देखा चाहूली जाओ एटलिस्ट समस्ते अटेंटिव अच्छा युधिष्ठिर आसिले गोटे गोटे प्रश्नर उत्तर देले तापर से आमको एथिक्स शिखबार अच्छी से युधिष्ठिर को जो पचारे गोटे प्रश्न उत्तर देला तुम क्या बंचा चाहूच से केबे कहना जे फर्स्ट अर्जुन फर्स्ट भीम आमको कहना से कहते कुंती पुत्र आउ कार माद्री कुंती पुत्र तो मु बंची माद्री पुत्र जड़े बंचब बुझीपारे माने से आम एथिक्स शिखा आम युधिष्ठिर आम एथिक्स शिखा आम मु चाहूँगी आम जो रिसर्च भी करुचे एथिक्स इज वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट नाउ इन द इरा ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस it's our role is very very important. Sometimes artificial intelligence will replace a teacher in the classroom. Sometimes in online education you do not know, like most of you have used chat bots. In the chat bots you do not know, you might be thinking that somebody is answering if you are asking questions about of course we have designed a chat bot during my stay at NAC. Okay, if you will feel that if you are asking in WhatsApp, you will feel that somebody is answering, okay, in the other side, but it's a kind of system, okay, it's a kind of artificial intelligence where you are making the system intelligence, so the system will behave like a human being, okay. But and what is important is ethics is important. If you make the system intelligent wrongly, it will behave different. Okay, it's very important that you should sometimes, otherwise artificial intelligence will replace the teachers in the classroom. Gone are those days where you are good in programming, you get a job. Drag and drop, next era, drag and drop, you get a job. Now today the situation is different. Somebody is very very good, thorough in knowledge, otherwise it will be very difficult to get a job even for the students. Lot of students of artificial intelligence is not a property of computer science. It is science, arts, commerce, engineering, all disciplines artificial intelligence can be used. Conference like this is a beginners, motivators for the young researchers to start thinking something different. Whenever somebody is teaching in the class, suppose you are teaching a particular subject, whatever is there in this book, if you explain, students will not be interested. You do some research. If you are teaching computer architecture, try to find out what are the research people have done in computer architecture to make the system more faster, okay? And the memory space, enhance the memory space. You just try to find out the kind of research people have done. So that has to be explained to the students. Otherwise, if whatever is there in the book, if you go and teach the same thing, students will not be interested. It is there in the book. I will go to ChatGPT and find out. Okay, that's very, very important. Think something different. Okay, any subjects you teach, because most of you are faculty members, so you think differently. That's very, very important. I'm sure that we are just trying hard to make the university more vibrant. I was telling Professor Patnaik that we publish results within a week. I told him that I'm using some kind of pipelining. If I tell you that some kind of pipelining, most of you may not understand. Okay? I don't know whether people understand, because sequentially, the time it takes, I am using the same time, but I do it in a pipelining, so that it's not that the one paper is completing the examinations, completing the evaluations in 7 days. No, I start from the first day itself. The day first examination has been completed, after 2 days, that means I get a period of 20 days, 25 days till the examination over. So I am getting almost 35 days for a paper to be evaluated. Okay, that's the way I was explaining him, that the way we have done it. In India, BPUT is the first university which publishes results within a week, because I know the status because in NAC manual, there was a questions, number of days you take, the last examinations and publication of results. Okay, that was the questions. If it is less than 10, you get 4 out of 4. Otherwise, if it is more, you get 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. Okay, that's the way. None of the autonomous colleges, private universities, they are working hard. They are learning from us that how BPUT is publishing results. The other day, I was giving a presentation in the Honorable Chancellor's office. We had a meeting with all Vice Chancellors in the state of Odisha. I was giving a presentation that how we could do it. Why I am telling this to all of you is because I am talking about Biju Patnaik University of Technology. You have seen Biju Patnaik University of Technology more than 20 years, but you have seen Biju Patnaik University of Technology in the last 2.5 years. We are trying hard to make the universities more vibrant, more student friendly, more faculty friendly, more research scholar friendly. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir, for the deep motivation behind this multi-international conference, chief patron of this conference. Thank you, sir, for addressing this inaugural session. Let me introduce a gigantic man, Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik. He has obtained his PhD in the area of real-time systems in 1978 and DSc by thesis in the areas of computer systems and architecture in 1989, and served at IISc Bangalore from 1971 to 2011. His teaching and research interests have been in the areas of computer architecture, parallel and distributed computing, soft computing, mobile computing, VLSI systems, AI and machine learning. In these areas, he has published over 1,300 papers. He has supervised over 30 doctoral students and overall 250 master's students. He is a life fellow of IEEE, fellow of the World Academy of Sciences, and all the 4 leading science and engineering academics and India and distinguished fellow of the International Engineering and Technology Institute. As a founding Vice Chancellor of the Defence Institute Advanced Technology, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, he initiated a number of programs in the areas of nanotechnology and cyber security of defense applications. After his superannuation in 2011, he has been serving as an adjunct professor and at NASI, senior scientist with NIAS. He has won over 30 awards. His paper on adaptive genetic algorithm has been cited over 4,250 times by Google scholars starting from 1980s. He has significantly contributed to initiate and nurture graduate teaching and research programs in computer science and engineering at the IISc. He was actively involved during the formative stages of three pioneering organizations of India, CDAC, NBRC and DIAT. To improve the quality of research in several technical institutions of the country, he spent significant part of his time to organize international conferences and deliver invited talks in their campuses, serves on their policy-making committees, and published papers with their students and faculty members. His research activities are totally indigenous based. Now, I request our esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Professor L.M. Patnaik, sir, to address this inaugural session. Please, sir.
Good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor of BPUT, Professor Dr. Amir Kumar Rath, Registrar Mins Madam, General Chair of the Conference, Professor Bibudat Sahu, Program Chair, Professor Srinivas Sethi, keynote speakers, session chairs, faculty members, deans, other from the administration of the university, other invitees, delegates to the conference, young student friends. At the outset, let me profusely thank Your Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amir Rath, for having invited me to be here this morning. To be talking on a topic like IT, probably I am misfit because you always need a youngsters to be talking about this profession. I have a special distinction in this room. Probably I am the only person born before independence. So, you don't want to listen to an old fellow like me. In IT, it's the ruling of the youngsters. But he has been very meticulous for the past several months. Whenever we talk, whenever we meet, he said I should come. We met in PMEC last time in the ICMIB conference. Over lunch when we were discussing, he said you are coming. Okay. Before that, over phone too, he had invited me several times. I had met him in the erstwhile the Burla Engineering College where he was there. I had gone there for a conference the talk. I had a wonderful time with him, and as he was mentioning, we spent a lot of time over meetings in NAC. I think he was very active in NAC. Yesterday I was making an observation. Had he been there in NAC now, probably that wouldn't have been in this mess what we see today. He is actually a workaholic, if I can say. In NAC, he used to work till late in the evenings and then used to go to his room. We have spent several long hours. He used to spend in detailed PPT presentations, how to modify, and used to get into the details of all calculations and all. I don't think many advisors have gone to that level, how calculations are done and what is the philosophy and metric, the evaluation scores, how they are linked. He has done fair amount of research in that. Then we put, you are lucky to have him. He has been doing wonderful work. The singular difference I found yesterday, I was telling him, he is a resident vice chancellor. He is not a visiting vice chancellor. Okay. Earlier used to have visiting vice chancellors. Okay. He is spending time in the campus, which is very important. A VC shall have to stay in the campus. That's why a quarter is, right? You have to spend time. That makes a lot of difference. If you come and visit, like a visiting professor, it doesn't make any impact and sense. So he has been spending a lot of time. I have been watching from distance, even from Karnataka. We also have a VTU, that Technical University. I think over the past few years, after he has taken over, BPUT has done wonderful work. Okay? As he was mentioning, hackathons, publishing results on time, before time, that is a unique distinction. Students, stakeholders, parents want that. That's something very important. He has been doing that. And particularly I would like to congratulate him, his idea and his team of general chair and program chair and all the people to conceive for the first time this first international multi-conference, okay? This is important. You look at NEP document, what does it say? Today is the order of interdisciplinary research. You should do interdisciplinary work. University doesn't mean that it is unitary university. It has to have engineering, science, arts, humanities, management, pharmacy, all sorts of areas should be there. Single branch or area doesn't make any sense. In fact, 1988-89 we said that there was a famous committee called Yaspal Committee. You know Professor Yaspal, who used to appear on TV, former UGC chairman. He was the chairman of the committee that is called Rejuvenation of Higher Education. I was a member of that committee. Myself, former IFC director, former UGC chairman, AICT chairman, we were all members. We went round the country, met parents, students, VCs, directors and all. The report is there on the website, 1988-89. It was set up by Astral MHRD. There also the same thing was told. University means it should have everything. Not only engineering, only one, and under that you should have other areas, interactions, everything should come. So it's good that in this particular conference, I see a component of physics, chemistry, mathematics, pharmacy, management, different branches of engineering. Okay, that is something very important. Even though you call it technological university, but then you have tried to encompass all these areas. NEP talks about that. It has to be interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary work you have to do. If you look at the statements of famous people like the Brad Smith from Microsoft, who was the president, and we have people from the Apple, great people, they have said, we make great products because we are in the cutting edge intersection of engineering, technology and humanities, social science. Everything has to go together. As was mentioned by Honorable VC, AI doesn't mean that it is the cup of tea of engineers or computer scientists or computer engineers. It has social science, philosophy, psychology, law, ethics, everything is there under that. Because there are different types of problems. Research ceases these days to be only of one single discipline or something like working in silos. You can do great work, publish great papers and get very large projects if it is of interdisciplinary nature. Like a civil engineer talks to a computer scientist talks to an electrical engineer talks to a mechanical engineer. As was mentioned by your Honorable VC, everybody is talking about AI, ML technology these days. IoT is being talked about by civil engineers, mechanical engineers, doctors, all of them. Sensors to measure, right? Mechanical engineers, civil engineers talks about stress, strain, measuring those things, sending those signals to cloud, do something. Measure the vibration of a bridge and see how much it is by putting sensors. Or the vibration of a building, from that predict whether earthquake is likely to strike. There's different things. So singular discipline doesn't make any sense. Conferences of this nature serve a great purpose. You talk to your peers of different areas, listen to the something and get. As I said, the chances of a paper getting accepted is very high if it is of multidisciplinary nature. So is true of a project. Because in a single discipline, it is becoming very difficult to do outstanding work. Because research sometimes you find is so saturated, so much of work has been done. You want to borrow ideas from computer science, AI, ML, apply that, get some new results. That's what is happening. So, in that respect, I think this is one of the few universities, maybe this is the first attempt I have seen, where a multidisciplinary concept bringing all disciplines under a single thing you have put together. We have conferences in computer science, AI, ML, conferences in electronics, conferences in 5G, 6G, blah, blah, we have that. But here we have everything, and when I was going through the call for papers, I was talking to our Honorable VC that we have taken sustainability as one of the important things. Okay? Sustainability has everything, starting from biodiversity, starting from environment, physics, chemistry, maths, modeling. It has everything. That's an important talk. In fact, now there is a new area coming up in computer science. It is called computational sustainability. That is, you do modeling, analysis, simulation of all these patterns, prediction first towards sustainable studies. Because that is important, a topic. Because Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi said, nature, God, has given enough for your need, but not enough for your greed. You want more and more, right? That is why we have got into this sustainability problem. Okay, all these things. More vehicles, more pollution. Okay, more buildings, more problems. Okay, you are not satisfied with minimal stuff. What is need, you are always given towards a greed. And UN has set up its goal of sustainability, and I see in your call for papers, sustainability appearing often, everywhere, which is all that stuff. In fact, afternoon, in my so-called keynote address, I talk about a little bit about AI, ML applications to sustainability. So anyway, I would like to thank you for inviting me, and for my visit, Dr. Chandrasekhar Rao and soon to be Dr. Assis have done wonderful help. I have been troubling them for my travel reservation and all its stuff. I have been enjoying the excellent hospitality here, though I had a very long train travel yesterday, almost 20 hours in a delayed train of 8-9 hours. So, the campus is wonderful, what I see. I would like to congratulate you people for taking this particular initiative. And it's not that the technology is of specific significance, importance to one group of people. As I said, if you look at the advancement of computers, supercomputers are used extensively by physicists, chemists, biologists to solve what are called grand challenge problems. They have a set of problems, we need extensive amount of competition. Okay? Technology changes our life. I'll quote a very simple thing You can see how it is transforming. For our non-computer science people, when television came to my house, I forgot how to read books. When the car came to my doorstep, I forgot how to walk. When I got the mobile in my hand, I forgot how to write letters. When computer came to my house, I forgot spelling. When AC came to my house, I stopped going under the tree for cool breeze. When I stayed in the city, I forgot the smell of mud. By dealing with banks and cards, I forgot the value of money. With the smell of perfume, I forgot the fragrance of fresh flower. With the comfort of fast food, I forgot to cook traditional cuisines. And always running around, I forgot how to stop. And lastly, when I got WhatsApp, I forgot how to talk. So technology has some positive implications, negative implications we have been observing. And there was talk of AI, machine learning. It used extensively. Now there is talk of ChatGPT, right? AI certainly has played a major role. We have realized its influence, particularly probably during COVID. Okay. During COVID and post-COVID, we have found that it played a great role and it is going to play a great role. If we didn't have AI and machine learning and supercomputing, I don't think we could have got a vaccine in less than a year, that too without spending several billions of dollars. Because we had earlier H1N1, SARS, MERS, we had a vaccine for that, we had the protein structure, we had the genomic structure, we could map it and come up with a vaccine in no time, less than a year. Otherwise you would have been impossible. What you do, you looked at that vaccine, that protein structure, the genomic classifications and all that thing, and the moment they came up with this genome structure of the COVID virus, this virus, they tried to map what is the best possible thing, had protein binding, and came up with a vaccine in no time, which would have taken probably 10 to 15 years. Thanks to that, most of us are sitting in this hall. It's not only that, it is supercomputing which helped us in a big way. Computers, technology, and all that thing to solve sophisticated problems. It's not that AI was not that, machine learning was not that. We were doing all this research in 1975, 80, publishing papers on neural networks and all that stuff. But recently it has come up with a big bang due to two reasons. That you have access to huge amount of data, and second point, you have access to supercomputing facilities or computing facilities at affordable cost. These are the two reasons, because you are churning huge amount of data to get some results. There are probably a couple of areas. Certainly healthcare is going to be affected in a tremendous manner in future. Healthcare, education, agriculture, probably infrastructure. Okay. We have witnessed what happened during COVID. There is a lot of interaction, a marriage between medicine and engineering. You talked about ventilators, mechanical engineers from NITs, IITs, IIC came up with wonderful, excellent facilities. Right? Similarly, people came up with nice ideas using machine learning algorithms, using simple X-ray pictures, PET scan pictures, how to classify, and to predict who is likely to have this attack, which wouldn't have been possible. There were robots which could handle some dangerous items, and some instructional work to doctors who could spend time more effectively, rather than wasting time on routine things. So technology has come, engineering came in a big way. That's why you find in this country, most of the IITs, IISc have started a medical school in their campus. Even a traditional institute like IISc has a hospital now coming up there and a medical research center coming up in its campus. IIT Kharagpur has already. Delhi is going to have. Guwahati is going to have. Madras has that. And if you analyze the profile of the Nobel Prize winners, 37% of the Nobel Prize winners are called physician scientists. What do you mean by physician scientist? A doctor who dabbles with physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics and all that stuff to do intense research. So the objective with which IISc is setting up this in their campus, they say MBBS and MDs will come there to do PhD. And they will talk about singular value decomposition, matrices, vectors, inverses and all that. It's not something unheard of. I have interacted with several such doctors from US. When, as part of the NBRC team, what was mentioned, we went to National Institute of Health. Some of them talk about maths, computer science at an amazing speed. They are MBBS and MS, doctors. Okay, they use these facilities. So you will find that in future there will be marriage between biology, medicine and science, technology, engineering. Today you walk into any hospital, 90% of the equipment is electronics driven or computer driven. Okay. The doctor doesn't do any work when something comes out from the PET scan or CT scan. Everything is automatically done through a machine learning algorithm. He simply looks at, interprets, somebody puts the signature and gives the report. Maybe you can talk to the doctor tells something. Always the entire analysis is done using machine learning, image processing and all that stuff. Right? So you will see in future more and more of this stuff. Agriculture is one field. We are talking about sensors like the moisture for liquid level sensors, moisture measurement, so that you can find out and decide using a machine learning algorithm resident in a cloud when to put nutrients, when to use fertilizers, okay, and when the pump has to be switched on using wireless sensor networks. All these things can be done. And this is not a story. Near Bangalore, there is an agriculture farmer by name Harish. He is hardly 40 plus years. He is using our technology from a startup. The name of the startup is called Fasal, F-A-S-A-L. We know what he meant by Fasal. Okay. Here it has been found out that startup has developed technology, sensors, cloud algorithms, predictive analysis algorithms, that tremendous amount of water has been saved, nutrients have been saved, and fertilizer has been saved. And many of them are using it. The CEO is trying to use much more extensively. The basic problem we find in India is our farm sizes are small because families are getting divided now. Okay, we don't have good old structure of the families where they are combined. Now the land is getting divided. It becomes economical for larger plots. So you will find that more and more of these AI/ML techniques will be used in agriculture. And the trend has been now to fly drones. The drones take the images of flowers, petals, leaves, stems, and do image processing analysis. What the farmer typically does by looking at that, using a machine learning algorithm, which may be resident in a cloud, in advance you say, this crop is liable to be affected by such and such disease. So this is a research involving some background in agronomy. You should talk to agricultural scientists, computer scientists, and all that. So interdisciplinary research does play in these things, right? And we are talking about ChatGPT, as Honorable VC was mentioning. We have problems. What will be our role? Already there is a scare that the best of the US universities are now talking about what should be taught to computer science students. They are in big demand, they draw fat salary package because they write programs. But Copilot is doing that. There is Wisdom which is doing that. Okay, there are many of the packages who are doing that, already doing coding. So will programmers be thrown out of the job? Probably not. More creative work has to be done by them. Like in education, will teachers be thrown out of job? Probably not. You have to be doing more creative work. In the future, for educationists, for teachers, academicians, it will be really challenging. Thank God I have retired. I don't have to teach in this challenging environment. Okay. It is not the good old style of copying and going to class and all, using NPTEL and doing that. You have to see how to use the same ChatGPT to detect whether it is original or written by ChatGPT, and it has to be done more intelligently, not only for engineering college students or medicine students. This has to be percolated to even K-12, even to schools. Okay? Initially the reaction was we will ban ChatGPT. Then they realized that it is a stupid decision. You cannot do that. Students are very smart. Okay? You have to encourage, allow it to use and see how constructively and what sort of problems you give. Because initially people were telling, oh, AI is not creative. Now it has become creative. You can do wonderful things. Okay? But with all the great advantages of AI in healthcare, agriculture, education, infrastructure, everything, as Honorable VC was mentioning, it has a negative point. It consumes a tremendous amount of energy. You don't realize the ChatGPT algorithm 3, 4, the amount of energy they consume while training is tremendous. If you convert it to the CO2 which you get, there is a simple factor 0.07. The terawatt of energy to CO2, tons of CO2 you get. It is something like a plane generates CO2 when flying from East Coast to West Coast in US. Tremendous amount of CO2 is generated. These are called red machine learning algorithms because they are not actually suitable as far as when you talk about the environment friendly is concerned. You are going to measure in terms of CO2 generation. Now the research is to generate green machine learning algorithms. Machine learning algorithms which consume least amount of energy. The second point mentioned was they cannot explain to you. We are talking about XAI. You go to a doctor, doctor tells you such and such is ECG, these are the blood test parameters. That's why I say you might have a chance of getting ischemia. But this CNN, deep neural network, this damn thing doesn't tell you anything. Simply gives the result. Okay? It doesn't explain to you. It is brittle. There was talk about bias. It has been used for recruitment, selection, software package. It has gender bias. It favored male candidates compared to female candidates. Then there was a tool in USA which is called Compass, which was used by judges when a criminal comes, whether to give bail to him or not. It was always favoring whites and it was against blacks. It was found. And in translation, when it was used, when jobs like receptionist came, it always put C in translation. When jobs like scientist came, it always put he. So there is bias. Who is responsible for the bias? We are responsible for that. Because we are generating data, we are designing the machine learning algorithms, and we are training it. So there is data bias and algorithm bias. Right? So some of the problems are created by us. That is why I have a term called artificial intelligence. I call in a counterpart of that called natural stupidity. Okay? natural stupidity is more dangerous than artificial intelligence. So most of the problems with technology, mobile, we invented fire, messed it up with it, then you have fire extinguisher, fire exit, and all that thing. You invented atomic energy, misused it, messed it up, and blaming that. You invented the internet, mobile, messed it up, and blaming it. So technology has to be properly used. We are telling that jobs will be replaced. No. As long as technology is there, jobs will be there. Who knew that mobile technology will be used so smartly by the street vendor sitting on the footpath? She is using so smartly to do business. Who knew that the type of jobs what you are seeing by Swiggy and Zomato will be there? New types of jobs will be created. So you have to be constantly learning, unlearning, and all that thing has to be done. Jobs will not go. Analysis has been done as long as technology is there. But there is concern. Best of the scientists, engineers are telling that you have to be little bit careful about it. Because you have what is called narrow intelligence, then general intelligence, and what is called the super intelligence, artificial super intelligence you talk about. So where the scare is, it will be as intelligent as human beings and it will overtake us. So, well, robots will not listen to us. Robots will go on strike against us. There will be ethics problems and all. As was mentioned by your Honorable VC, ethics is important because you are trying to talk about the driverless car. When you have a driverless car, it is driven. Some people are sitting inside. So when the pedestrian comes, should it hit the pedestrian or create problem for the people sitting inside? It is an ethics problem. Okay? So these issues of ethics, bias, whether to trust a robot or not, there are algorithms, people are studying that. It's not that it is not unaware, best of the algorithms are there. So AI has its plus point, minus points. One has to be careful when you use it. What are its limitations? We should not blame that technology. But then this shall be all pervading. You will be needing it almost in every areas. Okay, supercomputing. I am told there are pharmacy students for drug design. They use supercomputers and machine learning and all that stuff. So it is like all pervading. You will find science, technology, almost every branch. In fact, those of you who are from social science, humanities, you find there is a new branch now coming up called digital humanities. That is, how do you use digital technology in humanities, analysis and all that thing. People in English, philosophy, psychology, they all should be using this thing. It's a new area which has already come up. So technology is influencing all these areas. I don't want to keep on going. We will talk a little detail in AI in the afternoon. If you are awake in the afternoon after a heavy lunch, I don't know. Okay. We will talk about sustainability and stuff like that. So the main point what I wanted to tell you is very smartly, intelligently, the organizer, the Honorable VC, the program chair, general chair have thought about this multidisciplinary, the multi-conference, so that all streams come and talk together. Where one thing can be applied, what can be borrowed and used there, that is more important. Unfortunately, that we don't do, even in the best of the IITs, IISc. We don't know what our neighbor is doing. Okay? When we come to conference like this, only we know what somebody is doing. Exchange of ideas. Do that. Have a great and wonderful time. Because I was not aware that I will be asked to come and be here as a chief guest. Last night, suddenly, I was told because these are what are called occupational hazards. Once you retire, you are an old fellow with no black hairs left on your head. When events, positions like this come, you are on the hit list. Suddenly you say, think about you. Okay? And when it comes from a good, sweet friend like your Honorable VC, I cannot refuse it. Okay? Thank you. Wish you all the best. Have great fun. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your commemoration of knowledge is certainly speechless or fully attentive to the audience present over here. So, hardly we get any person from the independent India, the knowledge like you. You are above all son of the soil. Thank you for blessing and gracing this occasion. This BPUT is very privileged to have with you for this inaugural session for this conference, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time, sir. Now, for the time to launching of the BPUT International Conference souvenir. So, with our delegates, I would like to request a few officials of BPUT to join us here. Patron Professor Shiv Kumar Mishra, sir, another patron Professor Manas Ranjan Kabad, sir, and co-patron Professor Manas Ranjan Nayak, and convener Professor Dr. Chandrasekhar Rao, and Professor Vikramaditya Das. Please join us on stage with delegates for launching of the souvenir of this BPUT Multi-International Conference. And I request the student volunteers, please bring all the copies of the souvenir. I request the delegates to launch this our souvenir of this international conference. This proceeding has been taken care by our publication partner, Taylor and Francis Group. Also, this conference has been powered with technical partner Quent. अरे खोल दो ना जी. So it's a launching of this souvenir of this BPUT Multi-International Conference 2025. Thank you. Rao sir, please collect the copies. Thank you, officials, to joining on stage. Please take your seat. All are requested to take your seat. Now, to felicitate our delegates on this occasion, I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Professor L.M. Patnaik, sir, the chief guest of this inaugural session. So I request volunteers, please come up with the token of love from BPUT. I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate our General Chair, Professor Vibhudat Sahu, sir. Vibhudat sir, sir. Bibu sir. Thank you, sir. I'd like to request the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate our program chair, Professor Srinivas Sethi. Next, I would like to request our program chair, Professor Vibhudat Sahu, sir, to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chief Patron of this conference. Vibhu, sir, please. I would like to request our program chair, Professor Srinivas Sethi, sir, to felicitate our registrar, Srimati Nishi Poonam Means. I would like to request to call on stage Professor Saroj Kumar Meher, sir, first keynote speaker of today's morning, to please join us on stage. And I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Professor Saroj Kumar Meher. From ISI Bangalore. Okay. Now, please take your seat. All are requested to take your seat. Now, I would like to request our registrar, Srimati Nishi Poonam Means, to offer the vote of thanks in this inaugural session.
Thank you, Subhendu. Namaskar and good afternoon to all. Esteemed Chief Guest Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik, sir, former Professor, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Honorable Vice Chancellor Deputy Professor Amay Kumar Rath, sir, esteemed Program Chair Professor Srinivas Sethi, Professor Department of CSE IGIT Saral, esteemed General Chair Professor Vibhudat Sahu, Professor and HOD Department of Computer Science and Engineering, NIT Rourkela, Deputy Registrar Dr. Subhendu Ratha, Conveners Dr. Rao and Dr. Vikramaditya, distinguished guests, respected dignitaries, speakers, patrons, eminent scholars, directors, officers, faculty members and staff of BPUT, volunteers, students, print and electronic media. It is an honor and privilege to deliver vote of thanks at the inaugural ceremony of this 3-day Global Meet, first BPUT Multi-International Conference on Emerging Trends Involving Technology 2025, a gathering that brings together brilliant minds, diverse disciplines, and global perspective under one roof. A shared commitment to knowledge, innovation, and collaboration beyond borders, to work together to address the rapid change and complex global challenges. First and foremost, we express our deep sense of gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik, sir, former Professor, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, for graciously accepting our invitation for delivering an inspiring and insightful address. Sir, your thought-provoking words, rich experience, and global perspective have greatly enriched this conference and motivated all of us present here today. Thank you, sir. My sincere gratitude to Professor Amay Kumar Rath, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor BPUT. Your visionary leadership, constant encouragement, and support have been a great source of inspiration to us. Your enlightening inaugural address has set a meaningful direction for this conference and has truly enriched the academic spirit of this gathering. The emphasis you placed on global collaboration, innovation, and research excellence resonates deeply with the objective of this conference. My sincere thanks to the program chair of this conference, Professor Srinivas Sethi, Professor, Department of CSE, IJT Saran, and General Chair, Professor Bhugudutta Sahu, Professor and HOD, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, NIT Rourkela, for their guidance, sharing valuable knowledge and expertise for making this conference truly global academic platform. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to all delegates, speakers, researchers, academicians, scholars, and participants. Your active involvement will make this conference a great success. I acknowledge the effort of the convener, coordinators, officers, faculty members, technical teams, volunteers, support staff, and media team for their meticulously planning and tirelessly efforts for execution of this program. Once again, my sincere thanks to everyone present here for making this inaugural ceremony a remarkable success. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, madam. Just adding two more thanks to our publication partner, Taylor and Francis Group, and the technical partner, Coampt. Now, all are requested to rise for the BPUT anthem. Thank you. Let us move for a group photo session on the right side of this auditorium, my right side, at the open theatre, amphitheatre. So all are requested for to move and join for a group photo session. Then after, the participants and the officials should move to the ECE building, ECE department for lunch. Then again, all should assemble here for a keynote speaker session by Professor Lalit Mohan Patnaik sir at sharp 2:30 p.m. here in the auditorium. Thank you. Let us move for a group photo on the right side of this auditorium. Student volunteers, please coordinate.